Half-mile into my hike, I'm up to 1,175 feet, and that's where I came from. I'm hiking on the Appalachian Trail, climbing the mountain. Way down there, maybe you can barely see US 522. My car's parked on a little AT trailhead pull-off down here, and just thought I'd stop and comment on this. I think I started around 900 feet. Now I'm up to 1175. So something like that with a little table would be pretty nice to sit on, rest. But I'm going to keep on going, climbing the mountain this way. Nine-tenths of a mile into my hike, I'm up to 1,310 feet. That's where I came from. That's the Appalachian Trail. And I just thought I'd stop here because this looks like the end of the old fencing around the U.S. Army Remount Depot. Maybe I can point some of that out on when I do the map talk, but here it's coming up. The AT's been following along right next to this chain link fence, and then here it makes a turn and heads in that direction. I mean, a tree fell over and knocked this down conveniently, so if you want to go in and check it out, you probably could. But anyway, we're going to keep climbing the mountain, heading up this way. My first waypoint I'm hiking to, let's see, it's in another 4/10 of a mile. We're going to cross an old country road and then continue on up the mountain. There's a pretty good sized tulip poplar tree right there. Look at this. They got some big poplars in this park. You can tell by the leaves, which of course I admit are hard to see in this little video clip, but that's how they grow, and they get really big. Then over here are some trees that didn't quite make it through the last storm. .5 miles into my hike. I've been up and down some. I'm down to 1,100 feet right now. And this is a crossing where the AT crosses. I think this is Route 601. There's a sign there that says U.S. boundary. And then the white blaze there. So the AT's right there. Just to the left is a gravel driveway that says private driveway, do not enter. And I'm just going to make a comment that there doesn't seem to be anywhere to park here. See that? There's nowhere to park. Now you might be able to pull over right there and park, but man, you're barely off the road. So that's why I parked where I did. So anyway, here we go, right here along the AT. .8 miles into my hike, I'm up to 1,200 feet. And I'm going to mark this spot. I'll show it on the map as a possible jumping off point for a bushwhack in that direction, just a couple of 100 feet, supposedly, to an old family cemetery, Pomeroy Family Cemetery over there. I'm going to mark this spot, and you can see it's kind of pretty cleared out right through here. Have to come back in the wintertime when all that vegetation's died down. I'm going to go up just a little higher and see if there's another way. Otherwise, I'll plan to come back this winter and I'll hike up there. Note to myself, the jumping off point here, Pomeroy number 1, if the cemetery coordinates are correct, it'd be right up in there a couple of 100 feet, which is kind of cleared out looking. And just to identify the jumping off point on the trail, it's this tree right here. .9 miles into my hike, I'm up to 1,230 feet elevation. And it looks to me like I've passed the possible jumping off points over this way to get to that old cemetery. So I was thinking about continuing on to the Tom Floyd Wayside, but it's quite a bit higher up on the mountain, and I've been there before, so I may just turn around and start heading back towards my car. That'll mean I'll be able to go into Front Royal and have a late lunch. This is a map of today's hike. It's 2 quadrangle maps taped together. The upper part is Front Royal, 1994, and the bottom part down here is Chester Gap, 1994. And this was a hike along the Appalachian Trail. This is Route 522, Front Royal's up here a couple of miles. And this is Route 522. It also is called Remount Road. And right here is where the Appalachian Trail crosses. And there's a little trailhead parking lot right there. So you can park here. Get on the AT. Now originally I was going to hike south, climb the mountain all the way to here, which is the Tom Floyd Wayside, but I didn't go that far. I changed my mind. So start down here. This is around 900 feet elevation or so, and you start climbing the mountain. Now this huge area over here and also over here was originally the U.S. Army Remount Depot. Now it's called the National Zoological Park Conservation and Research Center. Anyway, so there's a fence here to block this off so you can't go in there, but you follow the fence along the AT. And then when I got up to, well, when you get to here, you cross over this Route 601 road. Then you continue to climb the mountain on the AT. Now I climbed up to about where I drew this line. I was looking for a way to bushwhack from the AT over here to some coordinates that I have where there is supposed to be an old family cemetery. So I hiked up to here, and you'll see in my video where I think I can bushwhack in. And then I decided, not to bother to go all the way up to the Tom Floyd Wayside. I have been there before, and I have videos on that on my channel. And let me just point out that right there is the park boundary for Shenandoah Park. So this entire hike is outside the park boundary. So got a couple of pictures here and then turned around and went back down the side of the mountain to my car here. Ended up being 3.8 miles and a total ascent of 892 feet. And that was the hike for today.